This past weekend, WWE presented Backlash live on the Peacock Network. 5 matches. That's all it was. So that's why this one's gonna be quick because it's just the 5. Most of our conversation will obviously take place during the main event. But we
It
had
felt good though. I remember when I finished it, I'm like, that was fast. He was like
yeah.
in our main event. I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Really? Are we there already?
We had the same
It
reaction.
felt good though.
We had the same reaction when Gunther and Pat McAfee ended, and then they started the main event package. I was like, "What the fuck time is it?"
Yeah.
Because it was only like 9 o'clock. I'm like, how much time are they giving the main event? So I was like, this is crazy.
I saw that shit at work.
It's-
I love my job.
Oh man! But we open up with a fatal 4-way for the WWE United States Championship. Jacob Fatu defending his championship against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. I really felt like, look at those names, and I was like, Drew McIntyre shouldn't be in this. This is kind of disrespectful a little bit. I know you got to do something with him. You can't keep having him lose main event matches, but he just lost the mid-card match, so it's now like, I don't know why he was in there.
It's funny you say that because as I was watching this, I'm like, I want to see the guy get his payout,
right?
Because I've been asking for his payout since COVID ended and stuff like that. I'm like, man, he deserves a payout. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the more he just gets beaten down, the more that if he ever doesn't get the payout, I think it's just going to be that much. At this point, we're just stacking the deck.
Right.
He's got so many reasons to pop off when he finally gets it that the more I watch him now, I'm like, oh, add this to the list.
Yeah.
Add this to the list.
And you know,
every single time.
Drew McIntyre, the character, always remembers. He forgets
Yes,
nothing.
he does.
He holds a grudge like those old Malaysian ladies who carry the water from the river. He never drops a single drop of hate. He holds that shit forever. There's a pediatrician somewhere that has an ass kicking with his name on it somewhere. He does not let go of grudges. So yeah, situations like this for sure. They signed him to a pretty big deal. He's getting 7 figures for a few years. They have in their head the idea that he's going to do something, but it just feels like they're. I think he's working hard to stay afloat until they pull that trigger. I think right now he's in a position.
Losing relevancy isn't gonna make that trigger come any sooner.
I think he's at a point right now where he's doing just enough to really stay relevant. But I think he knows, and I think management knows, they're just waiting for that window to open up. And then as soon as they can see a time where they can just slot him in, he's going to be a tremendous fucking problem for a lot of fucking people. And he's going to be on top for a minute.
It's nice to say that. It really does feel like there's a queue right now.
Yeah.
There's a queue for that top card. It's not a shortage. We kind of have too many right now, which is good for the mid card, which this match right here, I think I'm confident enough to go on record saying for me, this was the match of the night. Jacob looks fucking amazing as a champion. My whole thing watching this, I was like, it's really nice. First of all, to see a 4-way that I'm enjoying, but second, to see the champion in the 4-way stand out as the like I felt Fatu was the champion in this match. He dictated the pace. He was all over the place. He was like a one man, like he was doing chains like by himself, setting stuff up with I think he did like a clothesline. He like ran off the rope, clothesline, ran off the rope again, and then like dove outside. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's not stopping. He's all over the place. And it like his presence allowed the other 3 to kind of like come in seamlessly. And I don't know, man, Fatu really controlled this fucking match, and it was so good.
Which is so funny because you can make an argument at WrestleMania that the 2 top matches at WrestleMania were the 2 triple threat matches. And now we get to Backlash, and the best match is probably the 4-way. So I'm really digging the multi-man
Dude, they're
matches
working with these multi-man matches, dude. They are. This shit was good. I'm going down saying this is match of the night. And I think Damien had a good showing. I think Drew had a good showing. LA Knight had a good showing. I think they all did. But it was obvious that Fatu was the champion.
Yeah,
and that was cool to see.
He was the man.
Because you normally don't see that.
Yeah. You said earlier that Jacob Fatu looked good as champion. He's got experience. For the record, to this day, and I have it in front of me. I pulled it up while you were talking. Before he was a WWE superstar, he was the king of Major League Wrestling, MLW, who, by the way, has TV and has pay-per-views as well. He is, to this day, the longest reigning MLW champion in history at 819 consecutive days in a row.
Damn.
Now, he lost it to Hammerstone. He won it July in 2019, and he lost it to Hammerstone October 2021, who also had a long reign after him. He had it for 644 days, but he is still untouched at 819 consecutive days. He knows what it's like to walk around with a championship around his belt for long periods of time. And he looked good. LA Knight, I don't want to jinx the motherfucker, but he's been looking better and better in the ring as well. Not for nothing.
Yeah.
His in-ring has been looking so much better.
Look who he's around.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
That was my main point. Like, I felt like he could go. He just didn't have anyone with him to go. And you don't want to be the guy who needs a guy to go. That's my only problem with him. But when he is around people who can go, he fucking goes.
Him and Jacob have great fucking chemistry.
Oh, I'm loving this. I hope they keep going.
Chemistry.
It's so good.
Which brings me to competitor number 4. If you're going to rank him 1 through 4, this guy literally is number 4. I don't get it.
He would be. I already know where you're going. He would be 4.
Yeah, I don't get it. What is he missing? Something's off. Something's off.
He needs another Bad Bunny Backlash match. Yes.
There's something off about this guy that's not connecting. He's got a look. He can talk a little bit. The entrance is very ominous. I'm not a fan of the theme, especially since he took the wepa from me, but that's another conversation for another day. I didn't invent wepa, so I can't get mad about nothing. But former World Heavyweight Champion, they gave him a run. He's not connecting at all. I know there's going to be there's a pop every time he comes out. I get it. But there's a difference between getting a good reaction and being over. He's not over at all. And you could really, I think that was one of the reasons they worked really hard getting him away from Rhea as fast as they did, because Rhea's over. And the last thing they needed was her to look better than Damien. So they split that up big time. But he's not terrible in the ring. Except for that one spot. He drove me fucking crazy. I actually kind of I threw shit at my TV. I've never seen some shit like this. Him and Drew are fighting on the outside. And they're beating each other up. They're in the audience. This is the spot where he does the choke slam, that south of heaven through the table. When they were, you know what spot I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, they got on top of that thing, and he grabs him, and they do the fucking south of heaven, and they're both down, and everyone's checking on him. It's a big bump, a big spot. But to me, in my head, it was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know who pitched that, but it's fucking goofy. I don't understand why that was a spot they thought was a good fucking idea. I get when you're in the ring that Damien's move south of heaven is a sit-down chokeslam. I get it. That's what makes it the south of heaven. I understand. But if you're standing on an apparatus high into the air, and below you are a set of tables what I'm sure will cause tons of damage, and you've got the guy by the fucking neck, and he's not fighting back, he's down and out, why don't you just fucking chokeslam him? Why are you dropping in there with him by choice? Why are you throwing yourself into a table just to hurt him? You're hurting yourself. You don't have to go in. Throw him. Just be rid of him. Discard him into the fucking pits of tables. And then pose and laugh about it. Why the fuck would you go ass first with him to the fucking tables to the floor?
Because that wouldn't be the move.
Oh my God. My wife said the same shit. I'm like, oh my God, stop. It's okay to choke slam a motherfucker without falling down on your butt. I get it. It's a dope looking move in the ring, but this is a 4-way, and you have a chance to eliminate somebody and remain healthy. Or at least healthier than the guy who's at the bottom of the fucking cliff. Like, I'm not well, but this guy's fucked, and he's all the way down there. Let him die down there and go back in the ring and jump the fucking Samoan werewolf. What are we doing? None of that shit was logical.
That's the problem. See, I don't want to do what the fuck you just said, so I'm gonna kill myself here. I'm gonna make sure this guy doesn't win, but I also don't want to do what the fuck you just said. So I'm coming with you. We're gonna go together.
We're gonna do this together.
I'm not fighting no fucking werewolf, you stupid. I'm coming with you.
We're gonna do this together as a team.
Yeah, we're gonna die together.
Oh shit. But yeah, this was a really good matchup. The Fatal 4-Way, 17 minutes, 55 seconds. Close to 18 minutes, and I didn't even feel it. This felt fast.
Yeah. And I will say, I just want last thing about this. It stood out to me, so I want to make mention to it. I really like that Michael Cole. It was a really good scene. Like, Fatu was right in front of the announce table, so there's no way he didn't fucking hear Michael Cole say it. And as he got up, he's staring into the ring. I think LA Knight is in the ring, and he's looking in there, and he's walking slowly. And Michael Cole starts breaking down, like, he's got a record. He's been to jail. He's a fighter. Whatever, like his past. He's like, but he decided to change his life and become a wrestler and I love that he was like, use those traits and skills to come here and fight as a wrestler. Like, he said it way better, obviously, but that call, I was like, ooh, that was good. And the way that just like Fatu played it off, like slow walking into the ring, I was like, dude, this shit is epic.
It's cinema.
It's so good. I don't like that. We're not doing that. I don't like that new word. We're not doing that here. Fuck that. No, but seriously, that shit was so good, man. There's no way they planned that. And I think that's why it feels so good to see it. There's no way they timed that on purpose. But it was just so epic to watch. It was so good.
Well, I think it was perfect placement based on the on where Jacob was. So he takes a bump on any other side of that ring, he doesn't hear it.
Right.
And it just works out the way that it
so fucking good, man.
But
so good.
What's funny is like they're using the jail thing and they're using all that stuff to talk about why he, they're using that to put him over on camera, and it's ironic because those were the actual reasons they didn't hire him years ago. It was the record. Not because he was a bad person or anything like that. They interviewed him, they spoke to him, they know he was a cool dude. The problem is that it makes it difficult for travel. It makes it difficult to book him on shows overseas or because he can't fucking go because of the arrest record. They had to find ways around that and get things expunged before they can hire him. And it took a while for that to fucking happen. But now that they have him, he does have a legitimate fucking record.
Yeah.
So
it's legit.
It's a legitimate fucking record. Yeah. So they're gonna.
That's what made it so good, though, man.
And he plays it up because he looks like the fucking dude who's in the holding cell you don't want to fucking make eye contact with. He looks like that fucking guy.
And I love that he loves the boogeyman so much. I love the boogeyman.
When he does the shake and the whole shit.
Oh, he does it so good. Oh, man. Get ready, because we're going to get Braun Baker Fatu at a high level at some point.
Yeah, Braun
for like a big belt.
You remember that
in the future.
That pop that they got for the stare down? Like, dude, just the fucking stare down. That's
our future, man. That's Fatu and fucking Braun Baker.
There you go. All 7 of Jacob Fatu's kids are going to be loving that.
Oh,
our next matchup here, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. This was the longest match of the night, 18 minutes, 45 seconds. The previous match I said was 18 minutes, and I didn't feel it. This match, I felt every nanosecond of this match.
It could have been 5 minutes less and have been perfect.
5 minutes less, and I think it would have made a way better match.
It would have been perfect.
Yeah, they just back and
Too
forth.
many kickouts. We got to stop this kick out bullshit. We have to stop.
Okay.
It's too much.
So, this reminded me. It was literally the day before this pay-per-view. It was a Friday. I was talking to a guy because I was like, I told him, I said, if I was a booker or if I was a promoter right now, unless you're in my main event, I don't want any false finishes.
Even then, I'm over it.
Okay, but just hear me out. I said, unless you're in my main event or it's a special situation and we've had the conversation, I don't want to see any false finishes using your finishing move. Give me another false finish. And he looked at me wide-eyed and just went, he goes, you know what? I've been doing this 6 years. I don't think I've ever done a false finish not with my finisher. I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck does that even happen? I was like, they never taught me how to do that. I was like, oh my God. I was like, and I'm wondering, like, because I remember in Ring of Honor, there used to be a lot of that. They used to do a lot of false finishes with the finisher. And after a while, you stopped really believing that the finisher is going to work. It's like a 50-50 deal. It may beat him, it may not beat him. I don't know. People keep kicking out of his shit. So what was it, like 3 manhandle slams all took place, and Lyra just kept kicking out and kicking out and kicking out. And I have come to the conclusion that it does not matter what I think. It does not matter what anyone else thinks. They are going to push this woman no matter what.
Who?
Lyra Valkyria. They are going.
Okay. You have a problem with Lyra?
I have a tremendous problem with Lyra.
All right. Let me hear it.
And it's one problem, but it's becoming an increasing problem because she came straight in from NXT. She had the long title reign in NXT. I get that. She came in here, and she has been beating people left and right, and I get it. They're trying to make a new star. I understand that. But their push is not correlating with her acceptance. No one gives a fuck about Lyra Valkyria. They're not. I don't think people dislike her. I don't think people don't think that she's not a good wrestler. There's nothing about this woman at all that people look at and go, wow, what a fucking superstar.
I mean, she feels kind of over.
And then this is going to sound really petty, but the stake in the heart, the moment where I made a mental decision that I am not going to be a fan of this woman at all, was, I don't know if you caught it. There were a few people that caught it. I posted it on Facebook, and people didn't really catch it, and then they went back and they went, oh shit, did you see the part where Becky's beating up Lyra and then brings her to the fucking barricade? And she's
talking about her fiance?
Right, yes. She's berating this man. This is your girl, this is blah, blah, blah. And the camera is on him, and I swear to fucking God, me and Steph just thought that she was talking shit to a fan. Like, I guess at some point she caught eye that he was really supporting Lyra, so she's just trying to be a heel, get some heat, This is who you support. This is your girl. Blah, blah, blah. And then they go back in the ring, and Michael Cole goes, "How classless!" in front of Lyra's fiance, and we went, "What? What? Her fiance?" If you would have said boyfriend, I would have been like, what the fuck? Fiance?
She said yes to the dress.
The match no longer was our priority. We spent the remaining minutes of that match roasting that man. We were like,
why? What
the fuck? I'll give you some of the highlights. He looked like he just showed up to that building fresh off of LARPing. Right? Like he looked like a motherfucker.
I mean,
who built his own armor.
She comes out with bird wings. Is that fucking weird?
And now I know who makes them. Because now I know because
her biggest supporter? Bro, you're a hater, bro.
He's 38 or 40 or whatever the fuck his age was with like 15-year-old acne. Like he looked like he was popping a zit before the camera went on and it just stayed red. Like he had like this reddish. I don't want to be that guy from high school.
Time out.
Okay,
Are we hating Lyra because her fiance is ugly?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes,
I was like, weird.
This is. I'm like, there's no. You cannot convince me that this woman is a fucking superstar, and that's her fucking fiance. No fucking way.
Bro.
No fucking way. No fucking way. I do not accept this. Okay. Now for the record, I don't look at Lyra like she still sort of prides herself, okay?
This is what I'm trying to, like, what are we talking about?
But I put it on Facebook, I said, that shit hurt more than it helps. That hurt way more than it helps. It's like, I'm holding her to the same standard that I would hold a guy, right? So, like, if you're a dude and you're hyper athletic, world-class athleticism, which Lyra is an athlete. Right, you don't do what she does full time, and you're not an athlete. She's a full time athlete, right? And so same thing with the dude, full time athlete, right? National television, global television, a global television star, right? You're on the promotional material. You're this, you're that. You have your pick of the fucking litter, bro. Like, the only way I could actually make sense of this is I'm assuming, obviously, he's been there since the beginning, right? That's the day one, right?
Damn, he can only be the high school
sweetheart.
There's no
fucking way that she met him as a fucking adult and said, this is the man I'm going to be living with for the rest of my fucking life.
I've seen that in real life.
Holy shit.
I remember working, when I first started working for Lowe's, there was this girl that worked in paint. Oh my God, she was a fucking smoke show, dude. So hot, insane. And then one day, some like weird middle-aged, fat, pimple, fanny pack, shorts above knees dude comes in and walks up to her and gives her a kiss. And I'm like, am I being pranked?
Yeah.
Like,
am I getting punked? I clicked on something. I hate this fucking laptop.
Oh my God. Look, I don't know, dude. I don't think her skill in the ring should be judged based on some dude with acne on the outside.
I'm not judging her skill in the ring based on that. I am judging her capability of being a fucking star.
Making decisions?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You chose that?
How the fuck are you gonna? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, like,
won't you be very descriptive on what man she should be dating?
Superstar, bro. Somebody who's
tall.
Okay,
you like something like 6 feet?
If
some abs? Are you a delt guy?
Washboards.
Why don't you just draw it out? How hung can it go to the knees, or does it have to drag on the floor?
Can we get at least somebody who isn't like the anti-advertisement for Neutrogena at the very least? Is he still going through the voice change? Has his balls dropped at all? Did you even hear his response to when Becky was yelling at him and he was, stop. Like, it's like, oh my God. That was the most effeminate male I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's her fucking fiance.
What do you want him to do? She's a woman. He can't hit a woman.
Want him to hang.
He's a gentleman.
I want him to hang some sheetrock. I want him to hang an engine. I want him to start a fire with some sticks. Okay. Jesus Christ. I want this motherfucker to be a man, son.
He looked the same, but he had some Wranglers on and a tool belt.
I'm not
would it have been all right?
I'm not questioning this man's fashion sense, although it wouldn't hurt if he had the Wranglers. It wouldn't hurt if he had the Wranglers.
Some chewing tobacco.
Yes, so get this boy a cowboy. No, not a cowboy hat. That might make this whole thing worse. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, he's the kind of guy to fall off a mechanical bull and blame the fucking, I tore my tendon last. No, you didn't, bitch. You can't, oh my God. If he
can't ride.
Jesus Christ. He can't go to the gym on account of his arthritis. You know, like,
my goodness. He's poor guy, dude.
Oh my God. He can't.
You found him a very beautiful, athletic, successful woman who loves him for his spirit.
He can't leave a shower without his robe, bro. Like, this is the kind of guy we're talking about here. For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
Well, with that being
he door dashes his tools.
The match was decent. It just went too long.
Jesus fucking Christ. It went too long, yeah.
It went too long. And this match really pisses me off about Becky, though. Because if she wasn't on her bullshit, no one can tell a story in the women's division like Becky can in the ring. It's just, I just get so annoyed at seeing her because of all the bullshit. Like, I feel like she uses that stuff deliberately to get hate. I don't know. I feel like she has a very attitude era mindset.
Yeah, she does.
In this era, and it's very fucking weird.
Well, guess who her top advisor has been this entire time? Stone Cold Steve Austin. So there you go. That's the one feeding her the stuff. That's what it is.
Well, good enough.
I don't think Becky Lynch was in a position to give her the rub she thinks she just gave Lyra Valkyria, but we'll move forward. To the other Intercontinental Championship match, the one for the boys, Dominic Dirty Dom against Penta in a matchup that I wasn't feeling this one either. 9 minutes, 20 seconds. It is some pretty cool stuff. Not going to lie. That dive through the ropes with the DDT was pretty slick.
That fucking gear was serious. Penta's gear was so fucking good, dude.
He's got a lot more. I can't wait till he brings the Joker shit in. That's going to be dope. He's got Joker gear. That's fucking sick. I don't think he's going to be allowed to. I don't know how that works. Although Ray got away with it for a while, so I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, any thoughts about this matchup that really stand out to you? Good win for Dom.
I think it was a solid match.
Yeah, solid. Good win for Dom.
It wasn't a bad match.
No, I don't think it was a bad match.
It was solid.
I'm at a point now with Dom where I'm actually like, I'm over it. Remember in the beginning we were like, yo, time. He just needs time. Give him time. All right, he's here. He's doing it.
Yeah, I think he's here. He's working now.
I mean, he still needs more time if he wants to. It depends on how far up the card he really wants to go. But a strong.
I think he's perfect right where he's at
right now. Let's see. No, I didn't think
I'm not
he'd get
gonna
here,
write him
so
off.
I don't know.
I'm not going to write him off, but I don't see a world.
I honestly didn't think he'd get here. So now I don't know. So I'm just gonna. I
mean, having a decent match with Penta on your own,
this is pretty good.
Is really good.
It's pretty good
for where Dominic was. 3 years ago?
Yeah,
4 years ago.
Yeah,
that's insanely good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm not gonna write him off.
We'll see. Good stuff. Gunther and Pat McAfee. This match had no business being as entertaining as this fucking match was. And for me, when I say entertaining, I just mean Pat McAfee looked like the radio station guy who had the wrestler on as a guest and was like, hey, man, can you give me a chop? And then he gave him the chop, and then he just kept chopping him. Just over and over and over. Pat just... Did you see the photos of Pat's body at the end of that match?
Pat... I was thinking about this during the match. Yes, to answer your question, he was destroyed. I don't know if this will come off as disrespect or not. I don't mean it to, but he reminds me of a less athletic Shane McMahon. And the reason why I say that is because he's really good at taking a fucking ass beating. And not just taking it, but making it look good. Like, it looks fun to beat him up. I don't know. That's just kind of what I was getting while I was watching it. I'm like, he's not nearly as athletic, but, like, I get those kind of vibes when he's in a match. No? Not so much?
No, I'm right there with you. I love the comparison. When you said less athletic version of Shane McMahon, I was like, damn, that's saying something about Shane. Because Pat's an athlete, professional.
Stop it. Stop. Fucking stop. That's like saying the dude that was on patrol at the fucking military base and all he did was let the people in the base was a part of the military.
He's
Stop
a veteran. You respect your veterans.
Fuck off.
Actually,
that's not the same thing.
Didn't McAfee kill his own gimmick when he did that? When the comment where I forgot what match they were calling when somebody had broken ribs, and then Michael.
Yeah, he said he made a career at not getting hit.
Not getting hit. Yeah, he's like, I was trying to pitch over.
He admits that.
Yeah, he said, if my ribs cracked, I'd be crying like a baby.
He said, fuck that. My position, I didn't get hit at all.
Yeah, or at least I don't good. They very little hitting.
No,
some guys broke through that huddle and got a hand on him.
If you hit him, it's a penalty.
Yeah, unless because remember he was one of those kickers that used to come downfield looking for a hit.
Come downfield, yeah, sure. But in that case, he's doing the hitting.
Yeah. Well, sometimes he hit a motherfucker that wasn't the right choice to hit. Some of those motherfuckers were brick walls, not for nothing. So, not every angry black man's going to fall. You're going to hit a few shoulder blades that ain't moving. That's going to happen. The highlight reels show you the ones where he cold-cocked people. I wasn't seeing too many of the clips where he was bouncing off motherfuckers and hitting the dirt because he is a fucking punter, not for nothing.
Yep.
He's got one of those helmets with one bar, so that's all it is. It's regulation, just the one bar.
This match did exactly what the match was supposed to do. They were telling a story. Yep. They continued the story. It got hype. I love when Cole tried to grab his leg to get the win, but he kicked out anyway, and he stood up and looked at him like, you motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. Like, you're dead. I loved it. It was good. This match did exactly what the fuck it was supposed to do.
Strong win for Gunther coming off with the title loss at WrestleMania. I love the idea I actually love the idea of this match because coming off of that Mania win, he needed a dominant win, and who are you going to feed to him that matters? I'll give him Tozawa or something to beat up. He needed someone with some level of popularity, but in a situation where you knew he's going to dominate, and that's what this was. So that was pretty good. Which then, like I said at the beginning of this, led to my surprise because after this matchup, they gave us the package for the main event.
Hey, yo.
And I went, well, it was a decent package. They went way back. They went into the way back machine. They're showing 2000 when they were showing Randy Orton versus the Prototype. They went all the way back. They were showing the whole history. And I've said this before in the past, and I'll say it again here for the entrances for this matchup. You can see it on their faces. They were hyped. They were really they really wanted to do this match. They really wanted to have this match. You could see it in Randy's posture. They turned back the hands of time for just one match. For 27 minutes, they took it old school in their own heads. It was the old days, one last time. And you and I did the watch along the week of the pay-per-view, and the way that match started, you were not a fan. And I went, okay, so he said this was going to be a better match. And I don't know if you saw something different, but the start of that match looked awfully similar to that watch-along.
Yes, I agree. However, as I was watching it, I said to myself, he's not wrong, but you can tell they've refined their skill.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they were doing the same thing, but it was faster. They weren't overselling stuff that clearly wasn't hurting them. They were moving around a little bit more, but it was just an elevated version of the match that they had that we watched. So it was much better to watch because it was a little bit more believable. My problem is that they were gassed after touching each other once, which was a headlock.
Yeah.
In that first match. This one, at least once they started to get gas, I believe that they hurt each other enough to be moving a little bit slower. But yeah, to your point, it was close. I wouldn't say it was the same, but it was close.
No. The beginning of that match was very similar. They opened it up about midway through. It picked up in a big way. And it was so funny because the watch along, remember we were putting over the headlock that Randy was putting on, that side headlock on John, where he was kind of doing that lean back. I started noticing, I was like, oh, he's doing it again. He's doing that lean back. We're like, ooh, a real side headlock. And then we got into some crazy shit. So they're having a match. They're doing their thing. You're starting to see, you really see the chemistry. These guys go back a long way, you could tell. And then we got into Overbook City. All kinds of weird shit's happening. Referee drops. Another referee drops. Here comes the officials. They get dropped. Nick Aldis gets dropped. It's RKO City in St. Louis. Katie bar the door. It's a Donnybrook. Everyone's getting the shit kicked out of them. R-Truth catches a fucking stray out of fucking nowhere. And the R-Truth situation, we'll get to this at the end of the goddamn match, but you want to talk about long-term booking, long-term storytelling. R-Truth, the man who time cannot seem to get his fucking hands on. R-Truth, he comes into the ring to try to fucking negotiate with Orton. Leave my childhood hero alone. And he gets dropped. Everyone's catching heat. Everyone's catching shit. John goes straight heel mode, pulls the fucking trigger once again, and defends the championship against Randy Orton in St. Louis. And I thought for a second something was going to happen, because then John grabs the mic. Because they're playing his music. It's the end. John grabs the mic. He says, I know you can't see me, but can you at least hear me? Turn that music off. He says a few words. No one gives a shit. And here's the conversation. And you said that you would get to it later. I'm very curious to see how you feel about this. They're not booing him. They're not booing him. And he's got the mean face on, and he leaves the ring, and you can... And they're not booing him. Then when he leaves the ring, they hit him with the thank you, John. And you can start to see him crack up a little bit. You can start to see the emotion a little bit, because he knows two things. A, that maybe this time the love is real. And second, that was the last match he'll ever have. The last dance he'll ever have with one of his best friends in the world, Randy Orton. All that emotion was kind of bottling up for a while there. It finally lets out. What are your thoughts on the idea that they don't want to boo this guy?
Well, it takes us, like I said, man, it takes us back to our villain conversation. Now, the first thing that I noticed was, I know we talked a lot about before them piping in noise for Cena, because they would be booing him, and because he would have overall cheers. But if you've said before, like, if you're in the arena, it doesn't sound like that. What he walked out to with the John Cena sucks, but you still hear and cheer. I feel like that was like the first time I kind of felt like, oh, this is what he's been experiencing his whole career. Is he comes out, the music hits, you get hyped, so you like, oh shit, it's Cena. But then you get caught up in the fandom. So you're just like, John Cena sucks, and you're playing along with it. And to him, it feels fickle and fake. Like, why are you saying I suck, but you're also cheering me on at the same time? Right. Today, that makes sense because he's being a dick. But back then, it doesn't, because he's supposed to be the face. That's what you're showing me on TV, that people love him. But when you go to the arena, it doesn't quite feel like that. It only feels like the little kids love him, but all the adults fucking hate him. They can't stand him. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, has he been like dealing with this? Like, I can get why you would actually, if he's shooting, then I can understand why he's fucking pissed. Because even with the what the fans think is celebrating him and like cheering for him, sometimes from his perspective, I'd be like, dude, I'm supposed to be fully good here, and you guys are fucking booing me. And I'm giving you all of this, and you're giving me nothing back in return. So I don't know. I just sat there with him like, yeah, I more so hopes that he continues this and just fucks off. Because I truly feel like, regardless if he does the job or not, and like gives a thumbs up and kiss babies on the way out, I truly believe he feels like his run was robbed by the people. I'm a full believer in that, which makes him the villain. But you also can't not respect what he's done. So you want to cheer for him, but you also want to play along with what's going on and what's fun. And I think he fucking hated that in his career. I believe that. I believe he fucking hated it.
It couldn't have been an easy run at all. It was almost like he's probably the first face of the company that did it in spite of the people, as opposed to
yeah. I mean, when you see all the people in front of you get so much love, you see Hogan get all that love. You see Rock get all when they were face, they were face.
Actually, kind of fucked up. Look at the love the face of the company got after him. Look at Roman's love right now.
Oh, it's
look
insane.
At Roman's love, and Roman
he could do no wrong.
Roman was in a very similar position that Cena was, but they found a way to turn him around. They never really turned John
and it's
around.
Doubled because it's like when you were supposed to boo Roman, you fully booed him, and now that we could argue, you may or may not should be cheering Roman. We just talked about it, but like everyone's on board with cheer. It's not like wishy-washy. It's like one side or the other, and then like Cena didn't get that.
Yeah. Yep. So it's good. It's one of those better late than never situations, but that still is a shitty situation. Like you can make a strong argument from about 2005 till about 2017, 18. The split chant was there. Even in buildings where it was pro John, you still heard it, and then there were those buildings obviously that were anti John, and you still heard those cheers. It was always like he's the first babyface that was the face of the company in the company's history, where geographically his popularity would be audibly different. You know? If he was in Topeka, Kansas, they blew the roof off the building. If he was in Los Angeles, California, they'd boo him. If he was in Cleveland, Ohio, they go nuts for him. If he was at the Garden here in New York, they'd boo him. It's so unique, his run. But to see him get emotional at Backlash, and then the goofy thing. I don't like the goofy thing at the press conference. We don't need the press conference for that. That would the thing with Art. Did you see that? The thing with R-Truth?
No.
Okay, so they did this deal where John goes to the press conference and he's doing the post show, which is this whole post show thing. You know, AEW started doing this. I don't know why WWE started doing it. We didn't need to copy that from AEW of all things. Like, it's such a stupid concept, the post show, but they have one. And John gets up there, and ever since he's turned heel, what he does is he treats the press conference like a prima donna athlete. He doesn't really answer any of the questions. He dodges, you know. There was one time it was perfect. Somebody asked him a question. He goes, that's clickbait. I'm not going to answer that question. Next question, please. And that's how he does. So out of the blue, he's doing his post-conference, and R-Truth slides to the table where he's at. He's not sitting, but he kind of like kneels down to John. And he was like, John, look, man, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud that you're still a champion. You know, I've been rooting for you for forever. You're my childhood hero. I've been with you since day one. Down for you. I'll always support you. You know that. I'm always a believer. And John's just shaking his head like, I know. And he goes, I always support you. Even though the people say that you suck and you can't wrestle. And then John's face just got like blank. And he stood up and he grabbed the mic and he goes, Ron, that was uncalled for, and that was unnecessary. And I'm going to tell you right now, you say one more thing to me, and there's going to be consequences. And Truth, who wasn't really thinking, John, and then he picked him up, and he AA'd him through the table. The press conference table. And then he just walked off. And so the rumor now is that there's an upcoming Saturday night main event, and they're going to do John versus Truth. So, I like the idea, to be honest with you. I can sit here all day and discuss with you what that storyline is all about, but I'll save it for when they announce it. That way we can go over it, and I don't want to repeat it. But the idea of doing it at the press conference to me is stupid. Like, just do it on Raw, bro. Like, what is it? I didn't even see Raw yesterday yet, but that would have been a great spot for that. They probably talked about it more on Raw, and I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. We're recording this on Tuesday. It's releasing on Wednesday. I haven't had a chance. It was Mother's Day, so it was all about Mom that day, and then Monday, back to work for Dad. I had a bunch of shit on my fucking plate that I didn't do for the last 2 weekends because special time. So I didn't see Raw yet. My wife said we'll probably watch it tonight before we go to bed or whatever. But yeah, they did this weird thing with Truth on the fucking thing. I didn't like doing it there. Do the angle on fucking Monday and whatever. But yeah, so that was Backlash.